Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Lindsay.
What are you drinking today?
I got adventurous.
You did.
I'm an adventurer.
I see that.
Yeah, Monster made this alcohol stuff called the Beast.
Uh-huh.
And I want to run the whole train on all 4 flavors.
Okay, what flavor is that?
Killer Sunshine.
Ooh, can I taste this soap?
No. Yeah, I will. I'll let you. You puckered your lip, dude. Me. No, I wanted to be adventurous. Hopefully it don't geek me up too much.
Well, I checked. There's no caffeine content.
Okay.
I checked. But it is 6% alcohol, whereas my Vista Bay is 5.
And you're on the Vista Bay.
Vista Bay. I have the lemon lime. I'm about out.
So good.
We
Vista
had to make
so good. I don't know anything about Beast, though. The Beast.
The Beast.
I'm going to unleash the beast.
Kill the Beast.
Let's kill the beast. Let's watch that shit.
Yes.
So I'm breaking it open. Oh, yeah. What are we drinking about, Linzardo, over there?
We are drinking about, all right, this will be our wrap up on our LGBTQ series for the end of Pride Month. This will come out technically on July 4th.
Happy 4th of July.
So happy 4th of July.
Yeah.
We will be...
Try that.
Is it good?
Try
Okay.
it. Try it.
That is good. I want to try that pink one, though.
We're gonna run them all.
Yes.
We're running them all today.
Running them all. Anyways, this is our last case for this Pride Month. And we're going to be talking about a gentleman named Scott Amador. Amateur. Something like that. Okay. Amateur. We'll go with Amador.
And I have to believe you because I don't know.
I know.
Shit.
So, before we get to all that, what made you feel old this week?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought,
Who else am I talking to? Audience. What made you feel old this week? I mean, but they can't answer me back, so.
Yeah, they can. If they get on our stuff.
If you want to message us on Instagram or through a email, drink about something pod on the Gmail, drink about something on the Instagram, or you can just go to our website, drinkaboutsomething.site, and follow us on all the things and send us a message about what made you feel old. But anyways, I'm asking you, Jesse Stambaugh.
I mean, I had it earlier, and it was like on a random Tuesday of this week. Uh-huh. It came to me. Yeah. But I forgot. Oh. So maybe that makes me feel old. How's that? No, okay, so body elements and all that stuff we always talk about. Well, I do, for sure. Now memory, music, things of the past, just pulling up the spots like we did today.
Yeah.
And we're like, I remember coming here before like anything was developed,
Right.
I went to a spring today, which Florida has the most amazing springs in the world.
Yeah, this one is now a state park called Little River Springs State Park.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to go there and skinny dip at night and build fires on the, down there on the bank and just hang out all night long and just party and do whatever. Like when I was like 16, it was like the thing to do, And
it's a great little place. It's literally a little spring that goes to that is connected to the Swanee.
Yeah, it's a cool little spot.
Yeah.
I just remember going back. So that kind of makes me feel old. Yeah.
And we've brought our grandchildren now. And that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see that spot right over there? I used to swim naked right over there late at night. Like, we never do anything other than just swim around naked.
That's still weird. And very dangerous because there is a lot of gators.
Yeah, one of them largemouth might have grabbed my wing. Yeah.
I mean, not in the spring part. The spring part is pretty shallow. There ain't really no reptilians hanging out in that part. No. And there's a really cool cave. And we were talking about how there used to be a old petrified tree in that cave. And it's not there anymore. They moved it. Yeah. That must have been part of the state park thing.
And they found a woolly mammoth in there. Yeah. That was cool. So that kind of makes me feel old. Yeah. What about you? Your turn.
So that bruise. So 2 weeks ago, we were at Royal Springs. We like to spring hop during the summertime. And yeah, I acquired a bruise, and it's still there. Still a big old hunk of flesh that is bruised, swollen 2 weeks later. So yeah, that's
that whole thing.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I like lifted up my leg thinking that it was I was going to show somebody, but you already seen it.
Yeah, that would definitely just looking at something, you're like, this would have healed up so much faster, you know? I'm getting old.
I don't know. I've always had an issue with bruises just hanging out for a long time.
You got the random bruises all the time.
I am part of the mystery bruise club. Yeah. Yes. But
you
this
kick
one
your
was
own ass at night.
This one's not a mystery. I know where it came from, and it hurt very badly.
So at like 2:00 in the morning, I'm gonna wake up and just watch you beat your own ass.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm whipping my own ass.
Absolutely. So, with all of that being said, if you are new here, what we do is we have a couple of drinks. I unload a true crime story onto Jesse. So, and most of the time, like 99.99% of the time, he has no idea what I'm going to dump on him.
And she also lets me know how old I am every single week.
Yeah.
Lindsay, thank you.
So we talk about the true crime. And at the end of the episode, we plug a band that Jesse has sought out and got permission to play on our pod. And there, you put notes on my notes that OMG, Aurora Wave is going to be on Octane.
Yeah.
That's exciting. With our boy Jose.
Yeah.
Jose Megan.
Middle investor, man.
Yeah, Middle investor Megan. Devils. Dozen.
Maybe they will make it to the Devils. You can't do it. I can't do it either, Lindsay. You over there coughing. She's such a metalhead.
I try so hard to scream. And it seems like the more that I practice, the less, like, I can't even do vocal fry anymore.
You can't?
No, since we quit smoking cigarettes, I can't do vocal fry anymore.
Oh.
Nope. Because my octaves were just not made for metal. I don't know what it is.
Well.
And it sucks. But our boy...
Landon, he's in there gingering up over
Gingering up, yeah. Yesterday, I was in the kitchen getting food prepped for our dinner and for the river today. He cleans the bathroom. He cleans their bathroom on Fridays, and he always plays music, and we jam out. But he was like, he's been really practicing his growls and dirty vocals.
The transition in between that and clean, though, he's got to work on, but he's getting it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm teaching somebody how to scream, too, at the same time right now.
He found a coach on Instagram.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Insta-coach.
Yeah. But anyways, so...
Yeah.
What was your favorite daytime trash TV talk show in the 90s?
Well, before I do that, I just wanted to do this real quick, because...
we forgot the intro.
Happy Friday!
Happy Friday! Oh my God, we are old. We forgot the intro song.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'll just repeat the question when the intro song is done.
You had a question there. What was you saying, Lizzie, before I interrupted you with
All right. So what was your favorite daytime trash TV talk show in the 90s? Like one you would have watched when you stayed home from school sick or when we had a holiday?
I mean, we watched a shitload of Jerry Springer.
I'm talking about daytime. Jerry Springer was afternoon, after we got off school.
Oh,
yeah. Wasn't it?
I
remember watching it when I got off school.
I don't know. That's about the only one I can bring up, though, because I didn't watch a lot of that shit, you know?
Okay, so Jerry Springer all right, so Jerry Springer was known for having, like, insane fights.
Controversial things.
But it was kind of staged.
Oh, for sure.
But
so is most of all entertainment, yeah.
A lot of them were not. So in the 90s, if you weren't there, if you did not grow up in our time period, we had many varieties of daytime talk shows like Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael, Montel Williams, Gordon Elliott, which was my favorite because he was Australian. I loved him. He might have been British. I don't know. But I remember him being very Australian. Then we had Maury, who was giving out all the DNA tests. And then...
I remember all that. But I thought all that was around the same time as Jerry. I don't know.
It is. I'm getting there. And Jenny Jones. And then, of course, Jerry Springer. These talk shows would have all kinds of topics like teenagers gone bad, I'm an exotic dancer and my husband doesn't know. My best friend needs a makeover. Yeah. Or I'm sleeping with my best friend's husband.
Is it my baby or not?
Right.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Who the daddy?
Who the daddy is?
And like I was saying, a lot of these shows were staged, but some were organic. And some of the subjects had no idea what was about to be told to them when they were called on the stage by the talk show host. Like, come on out, blah, blah, blah.
We're going to fly you to Colorado. You can come hang out, bro. We're going to put you on TV.
Now,
they won't tell you what the hell's going on.
Yeah. And people lived for this drama, and we talked about it all the time, even as young kids. Like, we would go to school, we would talk about what had been on Sally Jesse or Jenny Jones the day before or Montel Williams, all of that. Ricki Lake. I never watched a lot of Ricki Lake on her talk show, but I love Ricki Lake movies.
I don't remember watching a lot of it. I'm sure I've seen it all. I've seen it all. You know, it's just... I didn't fixate on any of that. I mean, if I scrolled across, then I would be like,
well, you're
Sherry.
a dude, but us chicks, we were fucking watching that shit. So if you watch the movie Hope Floats with Sandra Bullock, it opens up, and that's how the movie starts, with her best friend brought her on a Ricki Lake-esque talk show to let her know that she had been sleeping with her husband and they were in love. Who brings their best friend?
Yeah, they dropped the bomb.
She thought she was going on there to get a makeover. And her best friend tells her, I've been sleeping with your husband. We're in love. And fuck you. Now you're a single mom. Bye. So, yeah.
It's so horrible.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So the person I'm talking about today, his name is Scott Emidur. And he loved these daytime talk shows. And he was a bartender at night. So, but before we get into all that, let's talk about who Scott was. So Scott Bernard Emidur was born on January 26th, 1963 to Frank Emidur and Patricia Graves in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Are we going to Pittsburgh?
Close. Ish, yeah. We're
doing a whole New England trip. You guys will definitely be going along with us. And we'll save most of the cool spots as a surprise because we're going to have some content as we go up there.
Well, on our way back, we have some time. So we may not. And there's some cool spots that I really want to go since we'll have time. So,
okay. I was just asking because I know we will be in Pennsylvania. But anyway, so Scott was the youngest of 6 children. It's got to be hard. The youngest
your parents
of 6.
are older, so it's kind of like, damn kids. I'm done raised so many of them.
I know. It's like at that point, you let your kids raise your kids. Yeah.
Just old and wore out with kids.
So Frank and Patricia divorced and later moved to Lake Michigan. I think it was Lake Orion. So Scott had quit school when he was 17, but he joined the Air Force right away, like right out of his, So I didn't even know you could do that.
At 17 in the 90s? Is this the 90s, right? Yeah.
No, that would have been the
80s.
Early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had to be 18 as well. I don't know.
But I mean, and he quit school. I thought you had to have education.
Maybe
at
he
least
was
high school diploma. But maybe that was before.
Yeah. All of that. Maybe was it emancipated or something where he just...
No, it didn't say that in my research.
Right. Who knows?
But he specialized in satellite communications.
Wow.
So with the Air Force, he went to Germany and he learned how to ski. And unfortunately, he had an accident and broke his leg.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Fucking skiing's cool until that happens.
Yeah. It was Sonny that died from skiing accident.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bono.
Yeah. Sonny died from skiing. Yeah. We miss him. In a weird way, we loved him.
Yeah, in a weird way. But we love share more. At the end of his 4 years, Scott decided he did not want to re-enlist because he was gay. And he wanted to be able to live his life out of the closet. And we didn't have the don't ask, don't tell at that point.
Okay.
So he was honorably discharged and continued to work in communications until he decided bartending was a better fit for him. He was a really friendly person and he loved the nightlife. And he had a couple of failed relationships and got really close with a woman named Donna that lived near him.
By the way, that's my favorite bartenders.
Oh, me too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is so fun.
Yes.
It's like, I'm having the greatest time. I just want to hang out and bullshit.
Because they're friendly and they're talkative and they hook your drinks up. Yeah. And like, I love it.
It's cool.
So one day he went over to go see Donna, and she had a friend named Jonathan Schmitz over who was working on her car. And Scott was instantly attracted, but a little nervous about telling him about his feelings because he wasn't sure. Now, Jonathan had previously stated that he had been questioned about his sexuality, but never said that he was gay. But he was questioned if he was gay.
Right.
Well, Donna or Scott, I've heard both, were watching Jenny Jones' show, and they were looking for guests for an upcoming episode with the topic, Revealing Same-Sex Crushes. So either Donna or Scott called in, and there was an application, and it was accepted. And they were going to be on the show, and Scott would admit to Jonathan that he was crushing on him. And this was 1995, by the way. Jonathan also gets the call from the Jenny Jones show, or the Jenny Jones team, to tell him the details. They tell him that his secret admirer could be a man or a woman. And at first, Jonathan said no, but curiosity got the best of him, and he finally agreed. And to be honest, after watching way too many of those shows myself, personally, I would have said no because it's just quite intimidating.
Sounds like a trap. Yeah, you're just like, I don't know what they're fixing to dump me off into.
Right. Because I watched that shit. Like if I was out of school or if I had the day off from school or I was homesick, that was just my routine. Yeah. I would watch all the daytime talk shows.
The curiosity that would kill me, but at the same time, you got to know there's just way too much more narrative there that they're going to dump on you when you get there.
Was that the ice cream truck again?
Yeah. Next cul-de-sac over. Yeah.
So anyways, but I mean, that was my routine. I would watch all of those daytime shows, and then the soap operas would come on, in the afternoon.
Well, I feel like every person that was on there, especially if they didn't know what the hell was going on, like they're all wrangled into this because they want them there. They want, they want people to be shocked and appalled, and there's a whole thing that they try to grab people on, and you don't know.
You don't know. But before I keep going, can you open the other one? Because I'm out of drink, and I want to try.
Are you just
please?
Puppy dog eyeing me? This is a short
episode. I just want to try. I want to have a drink.
You're puppy dog eyeing me for my drink, ain't you? Okay.
Is it working? And I don't want it to get warm.
I'm not looking because
I don't want it to get warm.
Can't charm the snake over here.
Let's get it cold. Let's have it while it's cold. Okay. All right, so we're opening the Beast Pink Poison.
Pink Poison.
Pink Poison. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What if I do it slowly? Okay. I'm opening it, Lindsay. Oh, here it goes. There it is. Mm-hmm. You get to try it first. How's that? Is this love?
Yes.
Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this pink poison?
It's good.
That I've been searching for. Is it love?
It does taste a little like poison.
That's why I was just saying that. Oh, we seen Belle Biv DeVoe. That girl is poison.
Yeah, we had an 18-month membership at We had 18-month season passes at Universal, and during their concert series, we were like, Belle Biv DeVoe. Let's go check it out.
It was so cool. That's some 90s shit too. Hey, that's some 80s shit. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, Lindsay.
Yeah.
What made you feel old now?
80s and 90s. We had to take a quick break and give our kid some ice cream truck money.
We heard the ice cream truck in our headphones.
So John thinks that it's maybe someone from work or his ex-fiance, which I think would be weird. Like, why would your ex be your secret admirer?
Well, I mean, you don't know because there's a twist always. You don't know. Then you get there and now you know.
So Donna and Scott fly out separately than John, and they get on the show first. Scott tells Jenny and the audience a little about the situation, and then Jenny starts to pry a little bit. She's got to make it a little more edgy and a little more steamy, and asks Scott if he's had any fantasies about Jonathan. And Scott goes into a little detail involving a little romantic dinner with some champagne and a hammock situation, things like that, And this made me think, Why does romance on TV or movies, especially back in those times, involve champagne? Like, the shit's gross unless it's mixed with some juice.
I don't like it either.
Unless it's mixed with some juice and you call it a mimosa. It's all right. It's all right then, but I still would rather have Bloody Marys.
I don't feel any more bougie than a Bloody Mary.
Right.
I love those.
When I go stay the night with my bestie, Erin Russell, in Jacksonville, she has taken us to this one place a couple of times. They've closed now, and that's sad. But they had like bottomless mimosas, and they had all different flavors. They had like it was a Hawaiian theme restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had Hawaiian themed food.
I think I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
And they had Hawaiian themed mimosas, and there was one called Cherry Bomb. Oh my God. Like, there was all kind of other cool ones called the Mermaid and had cute little names, but Cherry Bomb was the tits.
Yeah. I mean, if I would have been there with y'all, which I'd have been the turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, it was girls' day.
Yeah, I would have damn sure tried them all.
Yeah, we did. We tried. Well, I would start off with a Bloody Mary, and then I would have like 3 mimosas, because you order the bottomless mimosa with your food, and you can get a Bloody Mary, and then we got different flavors, and they make them in little cute little cocktail
I'd have been
glasses.
the fifth wheel. You'd have had to put me in a different seat somewhere. Like, you have to sit over here in this other booth.
You got to go over there. You got to go over there.
And you're pointing like in the very back corner of the fucking restaurant. Like,
and you're just like watching us.
The fifth wheel seat, and I can't even hear you talking from here.
But that place had some good food.
I'd still go.
And some good mimosas. But anyway, champagne is overrated. I guess it's just in the corner. Maybe it's just the name.
That's me in the spot.
Well, I'm still on champagne. Maybe it's just because of the name. I'm
sorry. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Maybe it's just because champagne is a fancy name.
You feel fancy. You feel bougie,
fancy.
Yeah.
I'm having champagne.
I don't know if I can do it.
My favorite champagne reference is God, why can't I think of his name?
I don't know, but I'm hearing you.
Hold on. Who is our tall... Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Give me just a second.
Oh no, I said too much. I said it all.
Give me just a second, because my perimenopause is kicking in and I cannot remember names right now.
I thought that somebody
I heard you laughing. I absolutely love and adore, but I'm only thinking of his character name.
That I heard you
oh my God, I can't think.
I'm sorry. Can I finish this though? I think I thought I saw
Jeff Goldblum.
You try.
Okay, so Jeff Goldblum was on. He had an arc on Will and Grace.
I like Jeff Goldblum.
I love Jeff Goldblum, but he had an arc on Will and Grace named Scott Woolley. Yes, it was Scott Woolley, and
over here dying. Lindsay's just like a mess, and I'm over here just trying to sing.
Well,
is it REM or something? I'm over here fucking.
Yes, that's REM. Anyway, so he's in love with Karen. At first, he hates her, and he's trying to like totally like fucking sabotage her. But then Will like makes him realize that he's actually in love with her. So then he's like, "Oh, I want to get her, and I want to take her on a dinner." You know how Jeff Goldblum is with his hands, and he's like, "And some champagne." That's how he.
You know, we have such a great time watching those late night shows, and she's like, "I want to watch some Will and Grace," and I'm like, "Okay," and then I'm like, "Hooked."
Have a Will and Grace recap podcast so hard. I want to check into it. I want to do it with JoJo though, because she has watched every episode as much as I have.
I mean, collectively, I've probably watched everything twice with you.
Yeah,
now.
We've watched it probably 15 times. Each.
Yeah, no, I'll claim two. No. But I died so many cool times. Oh yes, so many cool deaths.
That is one of the funniest shows to have ever been had. Like, it's just...
And the short old man, who is it?
Leslie
Jordan, R.I.P. Yeah.
Yes. He got us through
I just love him to death. Oh, my God. He's just so amazing. He'd be like,
well, shit. What are y'all doing during the pandemic?
Well, shit. Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
We watched all that.
Every day.
I just love him to death.
He got us through the pandemic.
It was cool.
And his name was Beverly Leslie. Yeah. On fucking Will and Grace.
He just showed up with all the coolness.
Who pretended to be straight, but he was definitely gay. My business associate, Benji. And I remember, like, after years, Will was like, "It's just weird to me that you're still calling him your business associate." But anyway.
I love that kind of comedy.
We'll get back to the story. So Jonathan gets called out by Jenny Jones to meet his secret admirer. And at first he sees Donna and he gives her a hug and a kiss and thinks maybe it's her, but then finds out it's actually Scott. And he gives Scott a hug too, but it's you can tell. I watched the show. It's a little uncomfortable.
Oh.
So then, of course, you got to make it steamy. You got to make it controversial. You got to do all the things. Jenny plays back some of the fantasy reel, and which I'm telling you was not really a big deal. It was nothing too embarrassing. And in fact, you can tell that Scott really wasn't even comfortable saying those type of things, but Jenny kept pushing it, You got to make it juicy. Got to make it juicy. Well, Jonathan says, you know what? I'm very flattered, but I am heterosexual and, I'm sorry. So everyone seemed to be in good spirits. They're laughing. They're having a good time on stage. And then after the show was taped, the three of them, Donna, Jonathan, and Scott, they go out for drinks. And it said that Scott and Jonathan even danced together and allegedly shared a kiss.
Wow.
So, and then they all flew back home together. Like, Donna and Scott changed their flights to fly back home with Jonathan. Like, it was all, three friends having a good time.
It was all Gucci.
It was all Gucci. Right. And when they got home, they went out drinking again together the next night. But then Jonathan goes home to his parents and tells them about the show and tells them that he was devastated about what happened.
Really?
Yeah. And all that he could imagine was like his granny, his grandma watching this and, thinking that he was gay and he didn't like that. So here's a little background on Jonathan. He was born on July 18th in 1970, and he was one of 5 kids. So see, him and Scott had some shit in common there.
Big family
Jonathan
stuff,
was one of 6. Scott was one of 6. Jonathan was one of 5.
Was he the youngest?
It did not say that he was the youngest, but it just said he was one of 5 in my research. And Jonathan was known for being on the sensitive side, a little bit of an outcast. And after high school, he went to college, but dropped out like after 2 weeks. And then he moved back home and he got a job waiting tables. In 1994, this was a year before the taping, he was diagnosed with manic depression and had suicidal tendencies and had actually attempted suicide 3 times.
Oh, so he's a little messed up, yeah.
He drank to cope with the depression, and that became a daily habit, so he became an alcoholic. And then he was also diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disease, and it causes hyperthyroidism. I have a family member that was very close to my heart who actually passed away from this at a very young age.
I've heard of it too.
She was 21 years old. Yes.
It sucks.
And it can cause serious health problems. Like I said, even death if not treated properly.
Right. That's just horrible.
So Jonathan had struggled with keeping a job, but finally found one that he liked at a place called Fox and Hound, where he moved up from busboy to waiter. And that's where he was working at the time of the show. So 2 days after the show, he tells his parents, like I said, that he was devastated, and he receives a love letter from Scott, and then something in Jonathan snapped. Jonathan went to the bank, he got some money out, he purchased a gun, and went to Scott's house.
Come on now.
He sits in his car for a while, and then he goes to knock on the door. He leaves the gun in the car at this point, okay? Scott's roommate, Gary, answered and said that Scott was shaving, and Jonathan went right on in and confronted Scott about the letter. Now, later on, it was said that Scott smirked, but he probably just kind of smiled. Like I said, it is alleged that they had a moment after the show, right? Then Jonathan was like, I need to shut off the car. So he goes out to the car.
No.
And this time he grabs the gun. He goes back to the house and he knocks again. And this time Scott answers the door. And Jonathan is pointing the shotgun right at him.
A fucking shotgun, Lindsay?
Shotgun. And Scott yells to Gary, he's got a gun. He's going to shoot me. And then Jonathan shot him twice in the chest.
The fuck?
And right in front of Gary. Like right in front of Gary. And then Jonathan takes off. Well, Gary calls 911 and Scott lived for just a few more minutes, but then was dead before the ambulance could arrive. Now, Jonathan, he leaves and he drives straight to a payphone and he also calls 911 and admits to the shooting. And on the 911 call, he said, I shot this guy who wanted to put me on the Jenny Jones show.
Like it was all his idea. I don't think it really was his idea to begin with. I think she was trying to just get him on there to see what was going to come of it.
Well,
and it's like mixed signals and it's like poor emotional communication.
So I researched some Google stuff and then I actually found a court TV documentary on this. It's like 45 minutes long. And Donna later on the stand says that Scott and her talked about it together.
Oh, they were. Okay.
Because Donna neither one of them knew him very well, knew Jonathan very well. They didn't know that he was
emotionally distraught and
cannon.
Yeah. And he was just going along with it to be, you gotta express things. Right off rip. And don't go along with it because it seems like he's just kind of gone along with a little bit and gave him a little bit of this and some signs and signals.
It's weird too because I listened to a couple of other podcasters who covered this and one podcaster would say you watch the show and you don't see any anger from Jonathan whatsoever on the show. And that's what I got. Like when I watched it, it looked like it was all lighthearted and fun. But then some were like, you can see that he's uncomfortable and angry. I didn't see that when I watched the show.
I have to see it.
You'll have to look at it.
Some people
opinion.
have their own mannerisms, and I feel like he was just trying to be like this good guy, but he was all turmoil. Inside.
He was turmoil. But like I said, Scott and Donna didn't know that about him. They didn't know
they couldn't see the signs because it was like soft mannerisms, and they didn't catch it. You know, even if you and I, like, sometimes we'll go to some drag shows or whatever, you know, we'll do some things. We
enjoy gay bars. We enjoy the gay scene.
I get hit on while I'm there, but I let them know, like, you know, I'm just here. Y'all do whatever. You can dance with my wife if you want to have fun, you know, because I'll pay them to go out there and shake their ass and do crazy stuff.
And all the straight people that we have taken with us to that have had a blast.
Yeah, I have a blast.
An absolute blast.
But I don't like... I'm not being over assertive with it, but I just let them know, hey, I'm with my wife.
And they're cool with it. Yeah.
that's pretty much it. And nobody pushes anything further. You know, but I definitely have been hit on several times. And I'm with my wife and I'm going with my wife.
And I've been hit on by women. Yeah. And I just politely decline. I've never in my head been like, well, I'm going to go kill this motherfucker now
that's my easy way out. You know, I'm with my wife and, you know, we're having fun. I mean, if you watch us for a couple minutes, me and you just having a fun time juking and we can clearly see that we're together.
The 4 women that I have been hit on, I am flattered. Like, thank you. I love you and I appreciate you, but I am very straight. But I love you nonetheless. Yeah. You know, thank you so much. And it's never been a problem.
But it's a common way to communicate with people and just let them know, not aggressive, but assertive, where you just like, here's my stance.
Right.
Quick, you know? Yeah. And he didn't know how to get to that probably. And he was just holding it in, but he was also kind of going with the flow on their little thing. Maybe he was enjoying the company.
And it was going to air in 2 weeks. And I don't know. I think, honestly, he was just more scared of what his family was going to think. I don't think that he cared himself. But when he got back and it, like, after the good times were over and he sat down and thought about what his family might think.
That's what drove him to it. So maybe he was
that's my personal opinion.
Maybe he was kind of on the fence on it a little bit, but he was disgusted at himself because he would let everybody else down if he actually turned into whatever.
Well, I mean, because just me, you know, being raised conservative Christian, and I'm absolutely not now. Like, I believe in God, and that's as far as it goes. I used to fear the same thing, that if I didn't act a certain way or be a certain way, that I was going to let my family down. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm still a good person.
Right.
I love them, but what they think of me is not I don't really care.
Maybe he should have accepted that wave and wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Because they were both available, and they if you're at the point where you're just like,
and Scott was a really good guy.
I'm kind of on the fence on this, and I want to just go try it out. Right. Hey, so what? If you did it, so what? Nobody at this point in time now, nobody would judge you either way. But back then, maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still the 90s. We weren't quite where we are today.
Oh, we had that whole AIDS fucking push thing, where everybody was like, all these homosexuals.
Well, that was mostly in the 80s.
AIDS. Well, it was just right before that.
When that one kid, I wish I could remember his name right now, contracted the disease through a blood transfusion. And then they were like, you can get this shit anywhere. You can get this and not be gay. Right. And then Eazy-E died from it. Yeah. And, so.
Yeah. But what now you can take a pill that they probably had designed back then, but they wasn't going to sell you that shit. No. Fucking bastards.
Well, Jonathan was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and using a firearm. And he told the police that the idea of that episode airing on TV filled him with regret, anxiety, and dread, and had been eating away from him for the last 2 days. The show, like I said just a couple minutes ago, the show was set to air 2 weeks after the taping. And he had been on a drinking binge because he was embarrassed. And this overwhelmed him. And then the love letter made him snap. This is what he told the police.
But why play on the fence? Right. Don't fucking go near the fence.
And don't give Scott mixed signals.
If you're not fence worthy, don't get near the bitch. You know what I'm saying? But he was playing on the fence.
Exactly.
He was showing too many cool signals, and that's why he got the letter.
Right.
Fuck that, dude. Like, just be assertive.
And he did exactly what you should have done on the show. He was like, I'm flattered, but I'm heterosexual. But then afterwards, you give Scott mixed signals.
Twice.
So that's why Scott gives you a love letter.
Right.
Brah.
Yeah, going out with him twice and then hanging out like that, you're showing too many
and made sure that him and Donna flew home together with him.
Right. So 3 times.
So now, of course, the Jenny Jones show is getting all the blame. And Jenny Jones made a statement herself saying that no one was to blame but the shooter himself. And I agree with that.
He pulled the trigger.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, all the way down to him actually physically pulling that trigger. He put the bullet in it, Now, the show would never actually air anywhere but the courtroom. But, of course, like I said, you can watch that clip on YouTube. It?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, it's all over. Really? It's all over YouTube. Yeah, you can find, there's little mini docs. And then, like I said, I watched those mini docs and the court TV doc. So I watched Jonathan's reactions over and over and tried to analyze it myself. And I'm like, I just don't see where this dude was mad.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. I want to break it down myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll pull it up after we're done and have some dinner because it's not long at all. And there's, like I said, you can watch a 15-minute one. So of course now, again, but this was actually before the horrific Matthew Shepard case that had me crying the whole episode. The gay panic defense was used in this case, and that definitely upset the gay community and gay rights activists. How is this man revealing a crush so absolutely disgusting and vile that you have to kill over it?
Yeah, say something.
And like I said, if a woman, if a woman had done the same thing to Jonathan, revealed that she had a crush, and you weren't really into her, what if it had been Donna? And you weren't into her, and then went out and shared a dance and allegedly kissed, and then she writes you a quirky little love note.
Are you gonna blow her ass up?
You're gonna plug her in the chest with a shotgun?
Little scattergun her ass too?
Fuck.
What the hell? No, he wouldn't have because that was accepted, right? Yeah. Fuck, dude. Be assertive with your stuff a little bit more. So
the prosecution said, hey, this was planned out. This was premeditated murder. You went to the bank. You bought the gun. You drove to Scott's house. And then initially left the gun in the car and went back and got it before you killed Scott. And so I agree. I definitely agree with the prosecution here. And of course, the defense said it was Jenny Jones' fault. And then they used the gay panic defense and also brought in Jonathan's poor mental health. And that part I can get on board with. Because the dude had some shit. He had some bad mental health issues.
And going through
But Jonathan, why didn't you just say, like you did on the show, hey, Scott, I'm sorry if I led you on, but I'm not down with this. And Scott would still be alive right now. And, his
It killed him for no fucking reason, really.
So on November 13th, 1996, Jonathan Schmitz was found guilty of second-degree murder, and that I don't understand.
No.
I don't understand why it wasn't first. And on December 4th, Jonathan was sentenced to 25 to 50 years. Now, Jonathan appeals this on the grounds of a jury selection error. And there was this whole new trial over this in 1999, but the outcome was still the same. And after serving 18 years, Jonathan was released in August of 2017.
And he's walking on sunshine.
He's walking on he's probably not walking on sunshine, but he's walking amongst us. He is no longer...
He is out and amongst us.
And has been for how long ago? It was 2017. It feels like yesterday. That was like 8 years ago.
For sure.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Like I'm
over counting on my fingers because I'm old.
I just clutched my imaginary pearls. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, the Amador family sued the Jenny Jones Show and was initially awarded with $25 million.
Really?
But the show appealed and the ruling was overturned. And the Amador family never received a dime from the Jenny Jones Show, which in my opinion...
They really didn't do anything.
They should have but they should have volunteered some money. I mean, that was a
just
big
to help
show.
pay for
that funeral expenses.
Yeah. Yes, to be the bigger person.
Like that.
You got the money.
Yeah.
You got the money.
This tragedy
was that like
literally
on ABC
happened.
or some shit? What was that on? What network was that on?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, they had fucking
NBC?
money.
I want to say NBC.
They had money.
No, Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. It was on the
fucking
WB.
Had money.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, I just remembered now because they sued Warner Brothers.
Throw them a cool million and just be like, we're sorry, but...
We're sorry that this happened. It could have been prevented.
Yeah.
We did not air the episode in honor of your family, but here's money to help you cope with this tragedy that happened because
they could have actually
of this topic.
They could have talked about that. You know, this is the thing we did not air, but we took care of this. And
no, Jenny did. She did. I remember seeing it when I was younger. I remember watching her whole statement.
That's what they're there for.
But I was too young to I was 95. I was 13? Right. Yeah, I was too young for that to sink into my brain, you know? But I remember that whole...
If I would have ran that show, I would have still aired it and then built it up and got all kind of cool ratings off of it. I would have been that shitty.
Yeah,
I would have been that shitty.
Yeah, that's shitty, brah.
Well, but I'm not going to be that person because I don't bait up people to do things like that. But if I was already doing that, I would have damn sure jumped on that. Does that make sense? Like if I'm already
They weren't allowed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't
well,
allowed
I mean,
to.
if you're not allowed to, you ain't allowed to. But
I mean, because it was evidence.
Yeah,
now, it was considered evidence.
True. And I know that's shitty of me, but if I was already in the middle of doing that, I would have tried to figure a way out. I mean, that's kind of a shitty thing for me to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, but at the same time, well, that was where shows like that were problematic.
Yeah.
They were doing, because there was a lot of people, I would watch all the time that, on Jerry. Now, a lot of that shit was fight, but you could tell some of those people were really fucking hurt.
Really hurt. Even though it was the fighting and stuff was kind of staged. I have watched several of those shows where the person who is being confronted with a problem, it wasn't necessarily on Jerry, it was probably on Gordon Elliott or Sally Jesse Raphael, because that was the two I watched the most. Right.
Where the person would just walk off stage.
And not come back.
And that's what Jonathan should have done. Had he really felt that uncomfortable and that embarrassed about it, I feel like that's what he should have done.
I'll have to see, because he said that I'm hetero, I'm the bigger person.
Yeah. I will let you.
And I'm not going to hang out with you two again.
So here's a challenge for our audience. You guys just look up Jenny Jones murder. It's what you can literally look up on YouTube, or Scott Amateur on Jenny Jones Show on YouTube. You guys watch it and leave in the comment section on whatever platform you listen to. There is a comment section. Tell us what you think.
Yeah. And I will too.
Yes.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Or we'll come back. And I love replying and stuff like that. It's really fun. Just to see that feedback and all that.
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
That's
did
horrible.
you think that Jonathan was okay with it, and then when he got back it set in, and then it just maybe made him upset to what his family may think? Or do you think that was just his reaction because he was on the show? Because like I said,
I had to see his mannerisms. I don't know. Yeah. Myself.
I think you'll agree with me, but if you don't, it's okay.
Right.
But me personally, if I had been a part of that where I felt ambushed or anything like that, because that's what the defense was going for, that he was ambushed. If I had felt ambushed, I would have been like, you know what? I'm really not comfortable. I'm just going to go ahead and go off the stage.
Right.
You know
Well, there's so many mannerisms that come in there. Like, kind of, you shrug your shoulders. You're kind of like doing this whole thing. I had to see.
No, it looked very lighthearted and sweet. But like I said, we'll watch it and you tell me what you think.
So that's the whole story?
That's the story.
That's so horrific, Lindsay. But I'm going to just go ahead and give you this.
Thank you.
Because thank you for spreading the word. And
Scott did not
share your
deserve to
feelings.
die,
Like,
period.
Be assertive about your person, yourself, to other people.
And Scott, like I said, I don't think...
This is still going. Go ahead. Okay.
I don't think that Scott was wrong or pushy for sending Jonathan a love letter, because he had allegedly, from several sources I read, they shared a moment after the show. And if he felt that there was something there, that's why he wrote that love letter to him,
Yeah.
And if he hadn't have felt that, I don't think he would have.
There were some signs there.
So before we plug this week's band, you're going to open up this
is
one?
The Gnarly Grapey.
It's gnarly grape.
Well, that's why I said grapey, because I'm going Gnarly Grapey.
Gnarly grapey, heard. Gnarly grape is the flavor.
And we've ran the
that
train.
we're gonna,
we got one more. We're gonna drink that later, because
yes.
she loves these. I think.
I do like it. I have quite a nice little buzz set in here.
You like the
Yes.
beastie. This is cool. Try this, everybody. It's kind of cool. Monster. I don't feel like I'm geeking like energy wise. I'm not like
no.
It's
Me
cool,
neither.
and it's a good flavor on all three of them so far, and we got one more later on. So I'm gonna sippy poos.
All right, organic reaction here.
Sippy poos.
Gnarly grape.
Sippy. Give me a minute. Let me get it in.
Oh, okay.
Let me get it. Ooh,
Is it nice?
Lindsay.
All right, hold on. Ooh, it tastes like Welch's.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy.
Oh my God, I just went complete nostalgia right now.
We went back to the 80s on that bitch.
Welch's grape soda was the only one that I would ever buy from a vending machine.
So it's not really seltzery though, but the flavor itself is very good. So if you had some of that with some of your little seltzer drink over there that you got, the cans of...
Yeah, we should do that. We should make a cocktail.
That will give you your...
Give it extra. Yes. That one's my favorite.
This, that, and some vodka.
Yep. Oh, God.
Then we're walking on sunshine. Whoa!
No, we still have to warm up our leftovers from last night. I made some banging ass carnitas.
So good.
And we made quesadillas with it and some Spanish rice. And we've got leftovers. I'm so excited.
We're going to do the damn thing. What else did you... What was you going to say? You was going to finish something up, brother. You said, before I do this, I'm going to do this.
No, we were going to do that. And then I said, before you plug the band, which is next.
Oh, a band. That's
What band are you playing today?
Play some music. This is my thing, right? Am I allowed to do this thing?
Yes, that is yours.
Found a band that's out of Miami here called Seven Sins. And this song's called Born to Die. Sorry.
I mean, Jesse has no idea what I'm going to dump on him.
The bands tell me what they want to play.
And that's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Seven Sins is cool.
Yes.
So we're going to play some Seven Sins, so you check this stuff out.
So good.
Awesome, dude. Oh man, hit up Dino from Fear Factory all day long. It was so good. You know what? I love Fear Factory, but I think I love this band better.
And if you guys want to follow them on Instagram, their handle is 7 Sins Miami. And that's I already went and followed them on our Instagram. We love you guys.
This is like the coolest song.
Yes.
It had all the cool breaks. Like it was 4 minutes and it was just like, here comes a cool change.
We want to see you guys at a show. We want to see you guys at a festival.
Yeah. Come on up this way or we'll go down. Shit. I'm ready.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
So good.
Thank you guys so much.
That's right up our alley. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we like all genres.
I was like, am I going post-hardcore? Am I going, this is hardcore. This is like the old school, like it has that good shit, but it's new shit. And I love it. Yeah.
Love it so much.
Awesome.
We love discovering new music. Yeah. I'm so glad that we're on this journey.
I want to see them on Octane too.
Yes.
So,
yes.
You deserve it.
You guys are next. So we're manifesting that for you guys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we want to absolutely plug our West Memphis 3. Make sure you are following this case and do what you can to help out.
Yes.
To get justice for, first of all, the 3 young boys that were killed, and we have no idea who did it, and nobody is paying for it.
They deserve it.
And then the 3 gentlemen now that are in their late 40s, 50s. Early 50s?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That paid the price for this and spent 18 years in prison. And one of them, Damien Eccles, spent 18 years on death row for this crime that they did not commit, all because they liked Metallica.
Yeah.
And wore black clothing.
They deserve justice, for sure.
Everybody in that situation deserves justice. I want to plug Jennifer Turpin's Dawn's Designs, because that's her middle name, Jennifer Dawn Turpin.
Yeah. She's
got Dawn's Designs. You can find her on Instagram. And look, she's got jewelry and hoodies and all kinds of cute things. And support. All
Always.
the support.
Yeah.
And
I would love to see Eddie Vedder pop into this thing again.
Yes. Eddie Vedder is the coolest.
And can you believe the shit that happened in our own town the other day?
It was like Thursday. That was yesterday. Was it Thursday or Wednesday?
I know, Wednesday afternoon. Yeah.
No. It was Thursday. Because when I came into work yesterday, Thursday. Yeah, when I came into work Thursday, that was 2 days ago. We're recording this on a Saturday.
Right.
one of my coworkers was affiliated with what happened. Go ahead and talk about it.
Were they MS-13? Do we know?
Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear it's speculated.
Yeah.
So I work at a restaurant that is very close to where this happened. This happened at an Arby's in our town.
Yeah.
And 3 assailants, is that what you want to call them? Yes. Came into Arby's and just fucking open fired.
Had beef with one of the dudes. An innocent, another person
was
got shot innocently.
And I have not heard of a fatality quite yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked back into it. It's just insane.
And then somebody I work with was affiliated with the person who got shot.
Drive-through only here. Drive-through only.
Shot. Yes. These 3 young kids just went into Arby's from Jacksonville. Yeah. They were from Jacksonville to our Arby's here in Lake City and just open fired. Yeah. And it is speculated that it is gang affiliated.
I'm scrolling on Facebook and see the dude laying on the ground bleeding.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. Like it's just bam, bam. And, so
could you imagine
social media and everything
you're in
just travels so
drive-through
fast.
or you're in the lobby at Arby's and you become a part.
If I'm in drive-through, I'm bucking. I can drive.
Absolute heinous crime. Literally heinous crime.
Yeah.
Dun. I just thought of Law and Order.
Yeah. It's crazy though. Just you never know when crime can happen.
It's so scary, and that is so close to where I work. Like I literally walk into work at 3:00 on Thursday afternoon, and I hear all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And like I said,
this guy comes up. He's like, "Look at this," and it's like somebody laying on the floor. Yeah. And it's like. He's like, he just went down at Arby's, and it was like probably within seconds later. It's like right there. God. But anyhow. Tragedy.
We'll give y'all updates on that when we get them. Right now, the only people that are have been named is the assailants, but we don't know anything about the victims.
We'll let you guys know, but
follow us on all the things.
All the things.
Keep listening. We love you.
Hope you had a great 4th.
Bye.